love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion?
From sea to shining sea.
What happens when a country music icon goes head-to-head with one of the most controversial faces on daytime TV? It's not just a celebrity feud, it's a legal battle that could shake the media world to its core. Carrie Underwood is suing Joy Behar and The View, and the stakes have never been higher. This isn't just about politics. This is about reputation, freedom of speech, and the power of words. Buckle up. This story is about to get wild.
Carrie Underwood will take the stage at Trump's inauguration singing America the Beautiful. She said to the Post, "I love our country and I'm honored to have been asked to sing at the inauguration and to be a small part of this historic event. I am humbled to answer the call at a time when we must all come together in the spirit of unity and looking to the future." Well, that wasn't good enough for the tolerant left, of course, who is outraged over Carrie being outed as MAGA. X is blowing up with jokes about how she should sing her hit song Before He Cheats. Some are calling for her to be boycotted and canceled. Rich weighed in, saying there are several top-tier country artists who support Trump, and I wish they'd finally have the balls to come forward and be counted. Ain't nothing outlaw about keeping your mouth shut to appease the record label. Carrie Underwood is making you look like a bunch of sissy boys. Carrie is talented, she is graceful, she is a class act, she has great legs, not that it matters, but she is everything that the tolerant left.
Carrie Underwood's performance at Donald Trump's inauguration was a bold move, but it wasn't just about singing, it was a statement. As she took the stage to perform America the Beautiful, she made it clear that she believed in unity, saying, "I love our country and I'm honored to have been asked to sing at this historic event." Her words were meant to bring people together, but instead, they sparked an immediate and furious backlash. The internet exploded with mixed reactions. For some, Carrie was a patriot, a voice of reason in a divided nation. But for others, she was branded a MAGA supporter, and the boycotts began. #BoycottCarrie trended, with critics accusing her of normalizing Trump's politics, of putting her career above the values many hold dear. But did Carrie expect any less? Some argued that taking a stand for unity in such a polarized time was a brave act, even if it meant facing the heat. Then came Joy Behar, and she didn't hold back. On The View, Joy didn't just question Carrie's performance, she attacked it outright. In her eyes, Carrie's decision to sing at Trump's inauguration wasn't a patriotic gesture. It was a political maneuver. Joy accused Carrie of using the moment to normalize Trump's politics, calling into question her patriotism and insinuating that her performance was far from about unity. Her comments were sharp and personal. Joy didn't just criticize Carrie's actions, she essentially painted her as a supporter of an agenda that could tear the country apart. "How do you love your country and support someone who wants to destroy it?" she asked, implying that Carrie's actions were not just misguided but dangerous. The backlash was swift, and the divide grew even wider. Carrie's supporters saw it as an unfair attack, while her critics cheered on Joy for speaking out.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America.
At first, Carrie Underwood stayed quiet. She didn't rush to Twitter, didn't fire back in interviews. She simply let Joy's comments echo across the airwaves. But make no mistake, Carrie wasn't ignoring the situation. Behind the silence was a plan, and this time it wasn't about responding with words, it was about action. While Joy and the media ramped up the pressure, Carrie was quietly preparing for a showdown that would leave a lasting impact. Her fans may have expected her to speak out and defend herself, but Carrie had something much bigger in mind. This wasn't just about public opinion. It was about defending her name, her values, and setting a new precedent for how public figures should be held accountable. Little did anyone know the storm was brewing, and it was about to hit with full force.
Wouldn't do it, even though I
You
can't
would not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every
Respectfully,
day.
a lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions
Fine.
for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
And just when everyone thought this drama couldn't get any more intense, Carrie Underwood dropped the hammer. She wasn't going to let Joy's words slide, and she wasn't going to let her reputation be tarnished without a fight. Carrie filed a defamation lawsuit against Joy Behar in The View. This wasn't just a legal move, it was a statement. Carrie wasn't afraid to stand up for herself and for what she believes in. The lawsuit wasn't just about defending her actions at the inauguration. It was about holding Joy accountable for her reckless comments. Carrie's legal team made it clear, words have consequences, and this time, those consequences would be felt in a courtroom. The question now wasn't whether this would blow over. No, this was a full-fledged legal battle, and it was already sending shockwaves through the media world. The world was watching, and both Carrie and Joy were about to feel the full weight of this fight.
People do what they do for whatever reasons. It's like Joe and Mika.
Yeah.
They did what they did. They felt that's what they needed to do, and I got to stand behind them.
Yeah.
You know, and I stand
Or not.
behind her no, not or not, because if I believe I have the right to make up my mind to go perform someplace, I believe
Yeah.
they have the same right.
Of course.
And so
That's
I have
true.
to, I have to support. Doesn't mean I'm particularly interested in what I won't be watching.
As soon as Carrie filed the lawsuit, the floodgates opened, social media erupted, and fans from all corners of the internet rallied behind her. Hashtags like #JusticeForCarrie and #StandWithCarrie took over Twitter, with supporters flooding the platforms to express their admiration for her bold move. Carrie wasn't just defending herself. She was making a stand for everyone who's ever been unfairly attacked or misrepresented. Many saw the lawsuit as a much-needed response to the unchecked power of media figures like Joy Behar. The public wasn't just siding with Carrie because they were fans. They were applauding her for holding someone accountable for reckless accusations. But the support wasn't just online. Media outlets were beginning to take notice, and commentators were starting to ask whether this case could set a new precedent for public figures facing defamation. Could the tide be turning? Was Carrie's legal battle the moment when the media would finally have to face the consequences of their words?
She says, I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion?
America, America, from sea to shining sea.
As the legal battle raged on, it wasn't just Carrie Underwood and Joy Behar feeling the heat. It was The View itself. Behind the scenes, whispers were growing louder. Sources began to leak that ABC executives weren't exactly thrilled with Joy's inflammatory remarks. Could this controversy be the final straw for Joy on The View? The network had to be worried. Joy's outspokenness has always been part of her appeal. But now, with the stakes so high, some began to wonder whether her actions were doing more harm than good. Would the network stand behind their star co-host? Or was this lawsuit going to be the moment they decided enough was enough? The drama wasn't just playing out in the courtroom, it was unfolding behind the scenes at The View too. If Joy's comments continue to spark backlash, could this be the beginning of the end of her time on the show? The future of The View itself might be on the line, with executives and fans alike questioning whether Joy's brand of controversy is still worth the risk. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. This isn't just about Carrie versus Joy anymore. The fallout from this lawsuit opens up a much larger conversation about the power of words, media accountability, and the limits of freedom of speech. Carrie's legal action against Joy isn't just a personal battle. It's a symbol of how public figures are held accountable for their words and actions, especially when those words are reckless or damaging. Could this lawsuit be the tipping point for how the media treats celebrities and public figures moving forward? Will this set a new precedent for defamation cases, where the stakes are higher and the consequences more serious? The conversation is far from over, and it's about more than just one woman suing another. It's about the responsibility of platforms like The View to think carefully about the words they air to millions of people. So what do you think? Has Carrie Underwood made the right move, or is this just another stunt for the headlines? Did Joy cross the line, or is this simply the price of fame in today's media landscape? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're hungry for more updates on this explosive story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned.